I'm not a bit close. I'm Bart, Lassiter, and my family owns City Transfer and Storage Company. We're in High Point and in Winston-Salem. Our story is that my grandfather started this in 1908 with horses and wagons. And here we are, 2024, still the same family running the business and owning the business, and we're still in business. And what's kept us going is we've got a good bunch of folks that work with us. We do the whole gamut of relocation. We pack boxes, we have resources for downsizing. If you need that, we do the actual moving, loading the truck, transporting it to the place, unloading it, setting everything up. We're actually a worldwide organization through our affiliation, Atlas Fan Lines. So if you're moving from Arizona, which we got some folks moving this week from Arizona, we can do it all. We can make arrangements to get a survey made and give you an accurate estimate. Any place that you live, doesn't have to be right here in our backyard. What I really want to talk to you about, because some of these ladies will talk to you about, is getting rid of stuff. I'm in the storage business. You don't have to get rid of everything. Pick and choose what you want to keep, you pick of this family-owned pieces, and just store with us for as little or as long as you want to. Let the dust settle, and then you can maybe find a home for your children or grandchildren, whoever wants. But we do offer climate-controlled storage, and that's something you need to consider if you got some folks that are pieces that you really do want to hang on to. We're proud of our partnership with River Landing, and we're thankful to be here. And look forward to answering any questions you may have down the road here. Thank you for your time.
I'm going to stand up over here. Do I have this thing on? Can you hear me now?
No.
Okay. So when they gave me this, I thought, Lord, I hope they don't want me to sing or dance. I'm just going to talk to y'all. Hi, I'm Kathy Haines. I'm with eXp Realty, and I'm a senior real estate specialist. What does that mean to you? It means that I'm trained, experienced, and knowledgeable in meeting the needs of the specific needs, actually, of seniors, and that can make all the difference in the world. Let me tell you how I got started with this designation. My mom. More about that later. As we all age, we demand specialists in our medical industry with our health needs, so why not in our housing and equity needs as well? What an SRES, Senior Real Estate Specialist, brings to the table is a customized approach to your situation, because everybody here is a little bit different. We work to fit what is best for you and your overall life plan. Most people are going to be downsizing, so as much as you love everything that's in your house now, chances are you're not going to be moving it over here. And so what are you going to do with everything? Well, I can help you figure out things to do that are not super painful, okay? An awareness of all the options and a network of solid, reliable referrals for vendors like handymans, electricians, tag sale people, a lot of them are here today. A variety of choices to reduce your out-of-pocket expenses and create, a feeling of this is not as bad as death and taxes and divorce like they told me about. But moving is not fun. I will tell you, it is not a lot of fun. And there's mixed emotions involved, because you may have been living in your house 10 years or 40 years, but it's been home, and now you're getting rid of a lot of your sentimental stuff, and you're moving to a new place. But you know what? That can be pretty exciting too. I call it a fresh start, a brand new slate. You can be whoever you want to be all over again. It can be daunting because there's so many decisions to make, and you're not even sure what you want to do first. And that's where I can come in to help you. Tap into my expertise, because I have, as I said, that network of experts that I can help you with. There's also an emotional element involved, and I know that because of dealing with my mother. I can help ease that transition by talking to you about, since we're selling in the first place, and exploring all the options that might be available to you. I can help with pricing. I can help with, pricing it as is, because a lot of people are like, no, I just really don't want to change anything. I just want to let it go the way it is. And that's certainly doable in today's market. I don't know if you've heard it, but it is a seller's market. So that's great news for all of you. We've got very low inventory. So things buyers might have been a little persnickety about earlier on, they're taking now, because that's about the only way that they're going to be able to buy a house. It doesn't mean that you just have to throw caution to the wind, but you have an expert that's going to help you navigate this whole process. Okay, so let me tell you about Mom. I'm the oldest of her 10 children. So we had a pretty big house. And I think when every child moved out, they left, we'll call it stuff. Other people use other words for what they left behind, but it wasn't anything of value. So my mother lived in this great big house all by herself because my father left us many years ago. And I finally got her to the point where she would agree to move. It was the most painful experience of my life, not my mother's life, but my life, because I had to help her with the downsizing. And I would give her one duty a day. Before I went to work, I'd say, Mom, clean out this drawer. And I'd come back that afternoon and she'd still be working on that drawer. Okay, so it took us 3 months, but we did get out of that house. Is that me crackling? Okay, great. So I'm gonna not move. No, but I will move my mouth. Okay, I'm a little animated. And so 2 weeks ago, my mother left us. But she lived with me for the last 7.5 years, and the holding on to everything in the drawer and in the rooms was with us till the bitter end. And that is one of the things that keeps me chuckling about my mother, because she was true to, I'm not getting rid of anything till the bitter end. I mean, even the food in the nursing home, if she didn't finish it, she wouldn't let them take it. She wanted to give it to me. I'm like, Mom, I don't want it. I'm sorry. But she didn't want to let anything go to waste. I understand that with 10 kids, but I didn't want anyone else to have to suffer like I did going through this process. So that's why I got my senior real estate designation. So I could help you guys and the family of you guys, because everybody's involved in this situation. So if I can answer any questions later on, please let me know. Thank you.
So who feels a little overwhelmed when you think about downsizing and moving? About a lot overwhelmed. Yeah. So you ask yourself questions like, what am I going to do with all this stuff? How do I decide what to take with me? And where in the world do I start? We understand that moving can be very overwhelming, and this move is different than your past moves. It is complicated by a lot of emotional and sentimental decision-making, as well as the logistics of fitting your stuff into a smaller space.
Could you give us your name, please?
I will, yes. So, my name is Beth Wenhart. I'm with Carolina Relocation and Transition Specialist. I'm happy to be joined by Ashley Harris, our Client Services Director today. She will be over at our table, so you can come talk to us at the end of the presentation. We are a senior move management company, and we are your solution for a less overwhelming, less stressful moving experience. Since 2008, we have been serving seniors' downsizing and relocation needs with compassionate respect and integrity. We meet those needs efficiently and effectively to make your transition one of value and exceptional service that leaves you feeling happy and relieved when the job is done. And who doesn't want that? As senior move managers, we accomplish this less stressful moving experience by using customized guidance and planning that is not utilized by a typical moving and transfer company. We provide a full range of services that includes everything from floor planning to downsizing assistance and sorting things out, helping you figure the stuff out, what you're keeping and what you're not. We take care of complete packing and unpacking. We also facilitate your relocation day, and we can actually help you deal with the items that you're leaving behind. I will tell you that the unpacking services are the beauty of this process. That's because we put everything in place and make it like home. This includes dishes in the cabinet, clothes in the closet, all the furniture in place for the floor plan, lamps set up and plugged in. We'll even hang the artwork and make the bed. This allows you to get settled and start living your life at River Landing. Rather than being stuck in an apartment for the next 3 weeks, 3 months, or 3 years, unpacking boxes and looking for things like the coffee pot. So we want you to be comfortable. It is really a good way to transition when you have someone to help handle these details for you so that you're not unpacking those boxes. We provide a free assessment in your home, and we custom tailor our services to meet your individual needs. So our assessments for each client, we talk with you in detail about your concerns, what's on your worry list, and then we custom tailor the services that you need to handle your specific concerns. So how many of you are planning to move in the next year? See a few hands. If you're moving anytime in the next year, now is the time to get started.
In the next year.
This is really good preparation. That includes contacting a senior move manager for an initial pre-assessment and a consultation. If your anticipated move is more than a year away, it is not too soon to get started. Even if you think this is 3 or 4 years down the road, it's a great time to start. To do some preliminary planning, some sorting and some weeding out. It's a lot easier to start in advance. Starting in advance is the key to making this process less stressful. It's a great time during this waiting time to be really thoughtful and focused about the things that you want to bring with you. And also, you're not rushed to make the decisions. I will tell you that practicing the decision-making of what to keep and what to let go of makes things go a lot faster when you get closer to the time of the move. In Carolina Relocation, we believe that why we are here to serve you sets us apart from the rest. Connecting with each client allows us to love, serve, and care for them throughout their transition. We would be honored to connect with you and assist your transition as we provide answers to those important questions. Where do I start? What do I take with me? And what in the world am I going to do with all this stuff? Please stop by our table after the presentations to pick up our brochure and a copy of our downsizing should be uplifting tips list. We would love to talk with you to help you get started on your downsizing adventure. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sonia Torres, and I'm a bank. So I'm with the Bank of Oak Ridge. We're going to switch it up a little bit here, but I will focus briefly on what this matters to you as far as banking, right? We're moving. Sonia, why do we need to talk about banking? So with moving, a lot of times people transition. They may have 4 or 5 banks and want to condense to 2, and then eventually at some point go to 1. So I'm with the Bank of Oak Ridge, and we partnered with River Landing some time ago, and we have enjoyed our partnership. So convenience is important to you all of us, and we have the privilege of being on site at River Landing. So we are upstairs in the main building, and we have what's called an integrated teller machine on site. What that means is you can go up to that screen and touch it and speak to somebody live from the hours of 8 to 6, Monday through Friday, and Saturdays 9 to 1. A lot of our existing River Landing clients do not want to have another piece of plastic. They say, Sonia, no, I am good. And a lot of you guys will have a badge, a River Landing badge. We get to know our clients very, very well, including our River Landing clients. And so it's a really, really neat feature. You can do basically about 90% of your banking right at that integrated teller machine live. You are talking to a representative that is local. We are very proud to be one of the last community banks in the Triad. So, and we can talk more about that at the table. But I will say that as you guys talk to people in the River Landing community, We love our residents here, and they seem to really, really love us. We're very, very convenient. We do have hours from 9 to 12 each week on Wednesdays, where we dedicate time on site with a representative from one of our local branches to meet for whatever needs you guys might need to talk about, whether it's adding beneficiaries, changing direct deposits. Maybe you've been here 3 or 4 years and you're like, Sonia, today is the day, okay? I want to do it. So we are here on site. We also even meet outside of those dedicated hours. I've met at many of the cottages here for a notary, to meet Junior or Susie Q from Alabama, whatever that may be. Sometimes it's just a personal visit, and not even a financial visit. I'll say that, but we're here for you for all your financial needs when you're ready. And as you move, and some of you guys are future residents, it might be 4 years from now, 5 years from now, we have lots of clients that will say, Sonia, we're on the waiting list, but we would like to go ahead and start that account now, or whatever that may look like. So that's a condensed version of that. I can tell more history of the bank, those types of things, over here a little later on. And that's the brokerage. Thank you, guys.
I think I'm on. Sounds like I'm on. Well, it's so good to see everybody come out today. So thank you for being here. I'm Erin Rogers Barker. I'm with Hillcrest Realty Group. We are located in Pay Point, but we service all of the triad. So I've been doing real estate since, I had to think about it while I was sitting there. So since 2012. So with that, I will tell you personally, I have moved 15 times in that time, period. So I will not say I'm a move expert, but one thing I can attest to is that starting early is key. Is that you may be relocating to Riverland in a year, maybe 2 years, it may be 3. But starting that process early and having a relationship with a realtor that you trust, that can navigate and help you prepare your home for market, it alleviates a lot of the stress. Moving is not easy. There's, whether you've been in your home 5, 20, 30 years, we all accumulate things. We don't want to relocate all those things. And the worst part is that when it's finally time to move, it can be daunting to go through everything, to get the home market ready, to make sure that the second it does hit the market, you're putting your best foot forward. Because that's really what realtors do. We are here to build a relationship and to alleviate the stress of that moving process. Is that we want to make sure that the second your home is on the market, is that it's showing well, you're getting the buyer response, and ultimately you realize the equity that you have in your home. So we take care of that stress. We help guide you through the process. I've been working with clients sometimes for 3 or 4 years before their home ever comes on the market. Again, it's a relationship. It's getting you ready. It's preparing you for the process so there aren't surprises. Can't guarantee there will never be surprises in the real estate market, but we try to address all those ahead of time. So you know what to expect, you know how to prepare for it, and you can be worrying about your being here every Monday. So Hillcrest would love to chat with you. I'll be over here at the booth later, but I'd love to talk, meet, and see how best we can help you with whatever needs you have. So thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're going pretty quick. Very good, thank you. Great to see everyone. I've had a chance to already speak with many of you, so I enjoyed the conversations we had. My name is David Kravchik. I'm with Edward Jones Investments. A little bit about myself and our firm. My office is actually located just a couple of miles from here, and I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I've actually been involved with River Landing for about that length of time and almost as long as River Landing's been here. So I really appreciate the opportunity to come out and speak with folks and meet new residents or new upcoming residents. A couple of things I wanted to cover. Obviously, most of you have done good financial planning already to get to this point in your lives and take the next step. Probably already working with someone, but just to give you an idea of what we do at Edward Jones, what I do working with clients, not just about picking investments, helping people plan their investments. So also do a lot of estate planning and retirement analysis needs and just funding. I have many clients out here at River Landing that were clients of mine before, and I help them make decisions to make the move to come to River Landing. And I've met many good folks out here at River Landing that have become clients. So absolutely, I would love to have the opportunity to discuss or talk with any of you and answer any questions you have as far as investments and planning. But what I'd really like to do is piggyback what we're here for and what everybody else is going over today. And when we talk about the move, storage, and all these things, which are very important topics, one thing I'd like to point out is be very careful as far as storage and what you throw away and what you keep. Absolutely make certain, I think this is a great opportunity during the move process. Make sure you locate your will. If you have a trust, a power of attorney, by all means, make sure you hang on to those, bring those with you. It's a good opportunity also to make sure your loved ones, whoever is the executor or executrix of your estate at some point, make sure that they have the most updated copies. So I think that's a very good thing and to keep in mind and make sure you cover that. But I'd also like to share with you is, really a reminder, I'm sure many of you already know this, if not, I did want to bring it to your attention. River Landing is what is known as a continuous care retirement community. And what that means is, by IRS rules, is that any entrance fee that you may, I shouldn't say any, but a good portion of the entrance fee to come to River Landing, as well as the monthly service fee that you will be paying when you're a resident here, is actually can be considered a health cost, and it can give you very major tax advantages. And it really comes down as far as the entrance fee. It's the portion, I don't want to get into too many details, and everybody's tax situation is different, but the part of the entrance fee that can give you a tax break is the amount that's non-refundable. So obviously you have different options when you come in, and you'll have the opportunity to pick those different options. Those different options are available because everybody's situation is different. But what I recommend is if you are working with a financial planner, or obviously you have a CPA or tax planner, be sure to go over that with them before you make that decision on which option you're going to take. And by all means, when you do become a resident here, be sure to share that information. Let your CPA or tax preparer planner know about that. River Landing does provide each year the actual tax information and percentages and breakdowns to share with your tax preparer. So that's really what I wanted to cover today, to make sure that you're aware of that, just as a reminder. And then also let you know that making that decision, there are different levels that you can contribute up front, or higher level versus lower level. Again, everybody's case is different. River Landing offers you the different options because everybody's situation is different. But I would recommend having a good conversation with your tax planner as well as a financial advisor if you're working with someone to get their input as well. So I look forward to hopefully speaking with some more of you after the event, and hopefully can answer any more of your questions that you have. Thank you so much, and great to see everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Good afternoon. It's great to see you all, and it is so exciting that you're taking on the transition for River Landing. Are you wondering how much your home is worth? Wondering the best time to sell your home? When to start the process? We can answer these and many other questions for you all. Just like the other agents on the stage to talk to you about a little bit about today. I'm Susan. This is my partner, Joanne. We're with Downsizing Solutions of Tyler, Redhead, and McAllister Real Estate here in the Triad. We are real estate brokers with specialized training. We're also senior real estate specialists here in the area. We have specialized training uniquely qualified to assist aging adults and their families when they sell their home and downsize. What makes us different is our patience and our experience with working with seniors, as well as our wide network of senior-focused resources, just like everyone on the stage has talked to you all about today. We all have lots of what I call is my toolkit. We have lots of resources in estate planning, in elder law, in move management, in estate sales. We as real estate agents have things to prepare your home to sell, the painters, the handyman, the landscapers. So lean on us, ask us questions. We're here for you. We offer at any time to come to your home, whether you're a year away, 3 years away, We like to come out and assess and talk to you and just give you tips. It doesn't hurt to have free advice, yeah, really. We also like keeping the process as stress-free as possible. We know this is an anxious move for you all, but it's a wonderful move. Absolutely. Our toolkit has all sorts of great resources for your move, and we focus on your transition with your transaction at the end. We like to help you through the transition of downsizing and of move. I truly believe that aging adults deserve the best, and I'm truly committed to that belief. I, like Kathy, got into this with my mother. She moved here to River Landing about 7 years ago. And honestly, it's the greatest gift she ever gave me. I'm an only child. She and my father had lived in their home over 50 years in Raleigh. My father passed away, and she started looking. They had looked together and knew they were going to downsize. And then she started looking, not so much in Raleigh anymore, because my father had passed away, and I was living in Greensboro. So they had a 4-bedroom home full of closets and stuff. We had a lot of stuff to go through. And I'm like Kathy, she had a hard time. She would say, I know Judy in Virginia would want this one thing. And I would say, I think Judy probably would. Let's call Judy and have her come by and pick it up. And if she doesn't come by and pick it up by next month, then we'll talk about it some more. They're so sweet. I mean, it's so wonderful. It was through that process that I became aware, luckily with some help from some folks on the stage, I became aware of all the aspects of downsizing and all the wonderful resources that are available to you all. Wonderful. I can't say it enough. She moved with great ease and settled into her home beautifully here at River Landing. And I can't express enough what Beth said about the unpacking, the greatest thing on earth, the unpacking portion of it. So stop by our table here. We're on the end. Sue Ann and I are here. We've got a really fun and easy way to start the conversation about your home's value. We're also giving away some great gift cards today, so please register. We look forward to answering any questions about the current real estate market. None of us have crystal balls about the future, but we have lots of information about the current market and any kind of questions you have about downsizing. We'd love to chat. So thank you.
Good afternoon, Carolina. My name is Vicki Reynolds. I'm the owner of That Special Touch. We are a senior move management company that has actually been here at River Landing since they were breaking ground, and I'm very proud of that. We have helped a number of residents move, get downsized, and get moved in here. And we love River Landing and all the folks that are here. I'm going to talk to you today. There's no secret on how to downsize your belongings. Downsizing is an emotional, time-consuming project that is not a one-size-fits-all. It's also a gratifying process, one that can open the doors to new experiences without the weight of your stuff holding you back. How many people here today can relate to that? We all can, can't we? Do you feel like the stuff is a big weight on your shoulders? It's just so heavy. And every time you take a bag to Goodwill or you call somebody to pick up an old mattress that's been in your guest room for 40 years, that load gets lighter off your shoulders. I'm going to take a moment and give you a few tips that are crucial to that downsizing process. This does not happen in a week or even a month. We work with folks just like you for sometimes months at a time. So be patient and give yourself a little grace. Start today. When you go home, pull out a drawer. With some items, you'll be able to make quick decisions. Other items are going to take you a little bit longer because of our strong emotional attachment to those things. Understanding your relationship to items allows you to make qualified decisions on their future. Declutter the easy stuff, the rooms you use for storage, the attic, the basement, the shed out back. Consider your new lifestyle. An example, moving into a retirement community means less cooking, which means less pots, less pans, less casserole dishes. Ask a friend who has already made the move to see what they actually use in their kitchen since they moved in. I can guarantee nobody's opened the majority of their cupboards in the kitchen. The goal is to downsize, not to cram your entire kitchen into a much smaller space. We have a joke, a 2-bedroom move-in is about 7 to 9 dish packs. If we go over to that, we're like, we need to have a little chat because this isn't going to fit in that 2-bedroom apartment kitchen. Sorry, I lost my voice. The goal is to downsize. Well, I already said that. This is true for books, decor, artwork, etc. Absolutely every category. I think these lovely ladies out right down front, they were talking about all their collections. They have lots of collections. And I'm sure if we had everybody raise their hand, how many people have those collections? And instead of taking 72 elephants with you, pick out 5 of your favorite ones.
They're all unicorns.
I can talk to you later about it. Set realistic goals regarding your downside. Whether you declutter a closet or clear a kitchen cabinet, it all counts. Here is where giving yourself grace comes in. And always remember why you are downsizing. Make this process more enjoyable by keeping the outcome front and center. River landing, a new beginning, and a new lifestyle. I love telling this story. It goes back right from the very beginning, 21 years ago. 21 years ago. We moved a delightful couple here in River Landing. We went to their home many times to work on their process. We helped them with their floor plan. We helped them with the downsizing part of it, cleaning out closets, cleaning out the garage, cleaning out the attic. The only problem we had, not problem, the only challenge we had was her kitchen, because she was a gourmet cook. And she had every gadget, every small appliance, everything you could imagine in her kitchen. And she did not want to part with one thing. One of her big things was her serving dishes that she used for entertaining. Of course, trying to explain, think about how you're going to entertain when you get to River Landing. I know, but I just can't make a decision. We went to Lowe's and invested in 4 of those big laminated door front cabinets. And they moved into a cottage. We put all the cabinets lined up in the garage, and we put all of her overflow in those cabinets. I bet you it wasn't 6 months later, I saw her one day, and she said, I want you to come to my house and pack up everything out of this cabinets. I'm not cooking. I will never cook. I'm not entertaining. I will never entertain. I don't need all of those kitchen gadgets and appliances and all that. And that goes back 21 years ago. So all I can say is, as you're making these decisions, start small, keep at it. If you're 4 years down the road, today is not soon enough to start your downsizing process. And come and see us. My team member is back in the back, and we'd love to answer some questions for you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Cole Hunter with CSM Flooring. I'll make it brief. Currently, I need to go home and start decluttering. Getting close. I'm again with CSM Flooring Group. I've been in the flooring business for 26 years. And been fortunate to work with River Landing over the last 14 of those years. I say we get to do the fun stuff and the pretty stuff for you guys. You know, when you come out, we get to help you select your carpets, your wood floors, your top shower, backsplashes if you choose. If you're fortunate enough to get a apartment or a townhome that has not been renovated, you get to, we help you pick everything. We'll help you with cabinet selection, granite selection, again, all the fun stuff that you've been working towards to get there. We have a 11,000 square foot showroom here in Greensboro, so most of the things that Riverland offers, we have a few of them down here this afternoon, but in the presentation room, we have a lot of options for you. So the nice thing is that they're very flexible. If we don't see some things that you love, or you have a specific carpet or pattern or something that you had at home you want to do in here, they'll allow you to do that. And we can set up a time and we can meet at the showroom. But again, take your time. I'm Cole with CSM Flooring, and I'll be right over here to answer any questions if you have any. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you all so much for being here and sharing your knowledge with us. With that, we are going to open up for some questions. We have some fabulous volunteers here with us. John Medina, one of our residents, will be running microphones. So if you do have a question, please wait until the microphone is in front of you so that we can make sure everybody can hear, as well as our friends joining us on Zoom. So with that, let's open up the floor. Yes.
Hi, one of the various CCRCs I attended told me that they have an auction service. And that even if I have a half a jar of peanut butter, not to throw it out because it will be sold by their auction service. So I was looking forward to hearing something about that. Is anyone involved with that here? Or was it another CCRC?
River Landing doesn't have an auction service, but I know that we've talked about estate sales. One thing River Landing does is that we have a yard sale program. Now, that is if residents want to donate things as they're downsizing. And residents here at River Landing can then purchase them, but also staff can too. And it's a really neat program that we have. But as far as estate sales, tax sales, does anybody have any connections with those that want to? Kathy, you want to take it?
Sure. But maybe some of these ladies have connections too, but I think all of us have connections to people that do the tag sales and the estate sales. And the main reason is you're not alone, and that those half-eaten jars of peanut butter are prolific. And so if you don't have enough stuff, they may combine yours with another one, but most people, suffice it to say, have enough stuff. My mother's tag sale lasted 3 days.
Yeah, a lot of times, like we just had this conversation with a client this week, people think that estate sales is maybe after someone passes and the house is empty and what. But my mother, we had an estate sale in Raleigh because I was an only child, my cousins, family members, everybody's house was full and we couldn't take it all. So don't think of it just as something so in the future. I mean, the estate sale companies, we work with a number of them.
Sure. So I also think, from a senior living management perspective, we see a lot of clients that if you're moving to a 2-bedroom space, you might bring your best things with you. And maybe you don't have enough left for an estate sale, but as senior move managers, we have a lot of other resources to help you let go of the things that you have. A lot of what you do with those things depends on what they are, you know, because some things have a market to be sold and some maybe don't, but they're a great donation item. And we always try to make sure that we're getting things to a good home, not putting things in the landfill. Landfill stuff goes in the landfill. But so there's a lot of options other than a tag sale or an estate sale for letting your things go.
You know, like consignment shops, a lot of them are not even taking big storage wall units anymore that everybody used to have in their living room and dens, and the same thing with, huge dining room tables and things like that. They've got so many of those things, but there are places that can use them, and, you can dispose of mattresses through Barnabas House because they've got this huge oven that bakes the cooties out of them. So lots of resources. We have to have all those resources. I don't know about the peanut butter jar, but we can help you with a lot of other things.
The one thing I will add to that too is that we've been recently connected with a nonprofit that will take items that you would like to donate and help those items impact people here in this area as well. And we have some information on that as well. So wonderful. We're ready for who has the next question?
Vicki, how far away will you go? Like I'm 2.5 hours away. Okay, this is my main. The main problem I have is not so much my house stuff, but his work garage. He is, I don't know how to begin because I don't know enough about it. Are there places that you can suggest that you can put online that people, I mean, you worry about somebody coming that's not.
Right. We encourage people to, get in touch with, a move manager 2.5 hours away. We will travel anywhere, but unfortunately, we have to get paid for that, okay? So that, a lot of people, our kind of limit, I guess, not really limit, but we look at maybe 3 to 4 hours away. The good thing about my company is I belong to a association of move managers across the country, across the state, that do what I do, possibly in your area.
Okay.
And what I would try to do is hook you up with someone in that area, and that would be helpful, because I don't know, 2.5 hours away, I don't know what would be the best way to put your grandmother's sewing machine. So I would try my best to find you someone that could help you in your area.
Grandmother's sewing machine, the greatest place to put it is at a kindergarten because it has so many screws, and you give them a tiny screwdriver and they will spend the whole, they don't have to put it back together, but they'll spend the whole day taking it to the hole.
Maybe our daycare will take. We also,
Bart, you want to add anything?
so we also, we actually have a triad and a triangle and surrounding wherever it takes us. But like Vicki, we're members of the National Association of Senior Move Managers.
So that can help.
So we can work to help, you know, if you're in a location in some other state, wherever that is, we can work to collaborate with somebody to help you. I mean, we work with clients moving all the way to California, so.
Good to know.
Great. All right, fun. Here, I'll give you my microphone.
We live in a community where they do not allow tag sales or people coming in to buy things from your house. And I was wondering if any of you have the capability of selling things online. I'm also computer illiterate, so I cannot do it myself. I haven't got a clue. But I have a lot of beautiful things. I was an interior designer, I have lots of accessories, artwork, beautiful furniture, and I can only bring about half. I don't want to take everything to Red Coalition. So, do any of you have capabilities of selling those online?
There are a couple of different groups in the area that do online sales. I have an eBay guy that if you send him the pictures, he will, in the description, and, you know, you can work together.
So I can get that information from you?
Yeah.
Oh, great, thank you.
I'll say one more thing about that, is that there are several estate sales in the area that they will come to your home and they will have professional photography done of your pieces. And so it's a nice white backdrop, it's stunning, so it's gonna showcase it in its best light. But they can handle that as an online sale. So again, it can accommodate the HOA restrictions and make sure that they're not in violation of anything. But again, it's all about presenting it in the best way possible. So you're not gonna have a cell phone image, it's going to be professional photography.
Wonderful. Who has the next question?
Good afternoon, everyone. Very grateful that there's a wealth of people from the real estate profession here specifically for this question. And I'll warn you ahead of time, I'm a guy, so that's the basis of this question. With respect to painting for a house, preparing it for the market, do either of you or any of you recommend having the house painted prior to putting it on the market, or offering an allowance built into the sale of the home for painting? The background is that, you know, if we put our colors in there, a prospective buyer may walk in and not be pleased at all with the colors. So that's the basis of my question. Thank you.
I will tackle that first, but I think that's a multi-pronged question, is that a lot of times it has to do with the condition of the paint. Is that if it's in relatively good condition, it complements everything in the room, there may be less reason to go ahead and repaint, because all buyers are gonna have a differentiation of what they prefer. Maybe they like grayish or gray or beige, or maybe they like the colors you chose. But I think that the condition of paint is gonna be the biggest decider for that in particular. If there's a lot of scratches, if it's faded, if there's smudges, I think that showcasing your home in the best way possible, that might be something to consider. And then with the painting allowance, again, a buyer can use that in any way, but it could be an enticing offer. I think you just have to approach every house differently. There's a variety of tools we have in our toolkit that we can address wild paint colors. I've seen every color known to man. I've seen glitter on the wall. So, I mean, you name it, it's there. I think that also has to do with whether it's being put on the market furnished, unfurnished. So again, I think it's case by case basis. But as you mentioned, there's several different tools you can do to overcome any buyer resistance to particular paint colors.
And paint is one of the easiest things to change. So if that's the only drawback, I don't think that would prohibit a buyer from making an offer. You can't really change the floor plan or add an extra bedroom real easy, but paint is an easy thing to change.
Along the same lines, what about wallpaper?
If it was applied correctly, it's easy to take down. If it wasn't, it's not so much, but they say wallpaper is bad. Maybe not your wallpaper though, we don't know about that. But I think probably, you know, getting someone that knows what they're talking about in, they could give you a little bit better idea if you needed to paint and if you needed to remove wallpaper.
We certainly say in business, people see better than they hear. So like Kathy said, you know, you can say this, wouldn't this look great with the wallpapers down? Well, if it's easy to get down, go ahead and take it down, because people see better than they hear. They want to put themselves there. They want to see themselves in the home. They don't want to see, I'll have to start counting their fingers the projects they have to tackle when they move in. That's what we're seeing in the market right now, with the move-in ready, the things that are clean, neat. You say it looks like a hotel when you walk in, or that no one lives there. Imagine that. But yeah, people see better than me.
Okay, do we have any questions on Zoom? Don.
Thanks, John. We have a couple of questions. So the first one came from Jody B.
And it was directed towards Beth during your portion of the presentation. They were talking about all of these services that you mentioned that are included of unpacking and making the bed and putting the coffee pot in place. And so they're asking if these services are included or if those are an extra fee.
Those are part of our standard services, and we price everything, we do customized assessment and customized pricing, so it's your price is your price, based on what you need, because a lot of that has to do with the quantity of how much stuff we're packing and unpacking. So if there are things you want to unpack yourself or pack yourself, we can work with you on that. So we custom tailor it, so it's a part of the standard part of what we do to do the unpacking. But we can custom tailor it to the level of need of each specific client.
Okay, fabulous. Any of the other movers have any tidbits they want to toss at that as well?
I'd just like to add with what Beth was saying, we provide a free consultation, no obligation. And at that consultation, we would provide an estimate. And I start out with a range. It will be from this to this. And then after they decide, yes, they want to go with us, then I give them an estimate. And that would include packing, unpacking, hanging artwork, etc., as long as the client wants us to do that. A lot of them might say that, no, we're going to do our own unpacking until they see that they've got, 67 boxes in a 2-bedroom apartment. Then they might be ready for us to unpack. But part of that service is we take pictures, a billion pictures of everything that's in this building and where if there's a wall grouping on the wall, we'll take a picture of that, and then we'll be able to replicate that in their new home. But we would take all that into consideration when it comes to giving that estimate.
Wonderful, thank you. We also have another question from Laura in the chat. And this says, is sterling flatware worth anything above the value by weight? And where could I sell it? And I think that that's a great question for all sorts of china and those finer items.
Unfortunately, China there's not a big market for it, as I'm sure all of you know. But as far as sterling, you're going to get fair market value as far as the weight. And it happens to be a good market right now. But usually, the best place that we say for people to get rid of their China service is to put it in your granddaughter's cupboard. Unfortunately, a lot of them don't want it.
That's right.
You can call replacements, and if you have a pattern, a Wedgwood, or a relatively famous pattern in either silver or china, they'll tell you'll tell them how many pieces you have and what size, etc. They'll tell you over the phone what it's worth, and then you can compare that to getting rid of it or donating it or whatever else, selling it to a silver person.
Yeah, they don't pay much replacements. And I have a really honest and dependable gold and silver guy. He does jewelry as well, but he buys and pays for the weight of the silver and the gold, which unfortunately is probably the best you can do.
I would add that there are some silver patterns that actually have a value because of their pattern. So that's, when you're selling them, that's a great, those patterns to my class and for the value of the actual pattern itself, and not just that it's going to be melted down. So it doesn't, like with everything that you might want to sell, it depends a lot on what you have.
And I have an encyclopedia person contact at replacements that, you could text him or call him and he would answer your questions gladly.
Wonderful, thank you all. We have a couple of other questions. One of them comes from Lauren Gallimore.
And Betsy, I think that this might be a question
That you could answer. This is, do we bring our own appliances, refrigerators, and etc.?
Great question. No, your appliances are included here. That includes a stove, a refrigerator, a microwave, a dishwasher. Those are all stainless steel appliances. We also provide the washer and dryer. So those are all supplied as well as maintained by River Landing. So if anything happens to them, You just make a quick call to maintenance, or you can log a little, we have a form that you can fill out on our resident portal, and they're there in a jiffy. And this is one thing that I hear consistently from our residents, is how incredible our maintenance team is, and just how wonderful they are and how quick they are to respond.
Thank you, Betsy. Sorry, we have just a couple more questions. So, Beth, you mentioned the organization, the association that, your company is part of, as well as Vicki. Could you, say those again so that we can get them?
The National Association of Senior Mood Managers. And that is an organization that, as senior mood managers, and Vicki's company is also a member, we have to meet certain standards and certain training, certain standards for insurance and the ways that we do business. And that is a nationwide network. So that is one way that we're able to help people who are in states, is to collaborate with them on select the senior mood management in another state that we can collaborate with to make the job cohesive on both ends.
Wonderful, thank you.
On that same token, we had an email in question from an RLF who was not able to join us via Zoom today. This is from Bob Pavatini.
He is going to be moving to Relocation from San Diego, and he asked if there are any companies that any of our movers here could collaborate with to facilitate the packing and the move, which we have answered that question. But in addition to that, he says it's been many years since I did a long distance move. Do you use moving trucks, or is everything now done by pods?
I'll address that. We have both, depending on the size of the move. The problem with pod is that it gets a pretty rough ride. It's basically put in a box and put on a crate to carry, and it comes in that way. Whereas the moving van for air ride is especially specialized for loading and unloading at the residence. We can look at both costs and see what's most effective. The pod, there's no liability. So if your stuff ends up being sawdust, there's not much that you can do about that with him. Whereas we'll be fully insured from start to finish. And California is a good area for us. We're out there quite a bit.
Wonderful. We also had a question from him saying that he needs to move a car from California. And do any of our movers have any experience in moving a car and or facilitating that?
Yes, we represent three park areas, so we can have that done without a problem. And a quote, we get a quote for you too, depending on what size car it is and where it's coming to and from, but we can have it.
Great. Got a question here in the middle.
Another question. The only moving company is yours, right, Bart?
Well,
On the stage?
well, that's a great question. Yes, we are the only moving company, in my opinion. We're an agent for Atlas Van Lines. That's all we do. Is move people. The move management part, we also partner with folks that can do that as well. But I'm primarily in the moving and storage business.
Everything else you talked about, we are move coordinators. We help you downsize. You don't move the furniture. Someone else, although somebody said you move, you unpack. But are you a moving company?
We have preferred movers that we use for the physical move. In my case, my team members will come in and pack. We pack, we unpack, we hang your artwork. We do have, and we contract out a preferred mover.
So would you work with Bart?
We have on occasion, we certainly have.
And we also have preferred moving partners that we work with in our various markets. And we book those movers for you, and we handle the contact with them so that you don't have to go find the mover. And we are there to facilitate that move on move day, make sure everything's going smoothly. And we use preferred moving partners that we work with on a regular basis all the time. So we work together cohesively as a team. And basically what that moving partner is doing is loading, transporting, and loading, placing furniture. And we let Vicki handle the packing and unpacking.
Thank you.
Yes, got a question right here.
Do you have designers that will come in and look at the apartment you're taking and then go to your home and look at the size of your furniture and help you figure out what you want to do?
So that floor planning process is a part of our process.
Okay.
We're not interior designers. If you have an interior designer you want to work with, that's fine, but we have years and years of experience doing floor plans, and we measure your actual furniture, and we measure your new space, the actual space, and collaborate with you on how you want to use your space, and what thoughts you have about how you would like things to be placed, and then we work from there, and if you're thinking of buying new furniture, we can help you with some guidance on what sizes to buy so that you don't end up with an 86-inch sofa in a space that's smaller than that. So, we can provide those services. We don't pick paint colors and draperies and things like that. But we'll collaborate with an interior designer if you have one that you want to work with and have them do your floor plan, that's fine. We just collaborate so that we can verify the floor plan.
And we do have a number of designers that we work with that collaborate with the moving managers to pick the paint colors and do placement of furniture and that collaborate with them mostly, but very great and Haines. We have a number of senior focused designers that work well with the community.
Also, a shameless plug for Michaela, our move coordinator here. She helps our residents of the future that are moving in with all of this as well. So, you may meet with Michaela and find that is what you're looking for. She can say, these are some really popular colors. She can show you some homes that may have used those colors before. And so she's a wealth of knowledge as far as what's been done in the past and what might look good in your home. Yes.
I know it's your business, but could the realtors comment on the companies that will come and just take that house off your hands, like Mark Spain or Open Door?
We don't like them. I think that they have a place in the market. So I do think that for ease and for getting a cash offer and a quick close, that yes, they have a place that you don't have to worry about people coming to your home. I will say that I have several deals that I'm on the purchase side now for several that sold through Open Door, and they left tens of thousands of dollars on the table. So I think that that's the downside, is that convenience-wise, they're fantastic. I think in terms of market value, you're shortchanging yourself. So if convenience is a greater need for you than realizing the full equity you can get out of the home, then, like I said, it could be a good choice. But I will say on average, I see about $20,000 to $30,000 left on the table. Yes.
Technology hasn't been addressed specifically. Is that included in, you're gonna get my computers and my TVs and sound systems working?
Well, we will pack them, move them, unpack them, and then there happens to be an excellent computer technology guru in the maintenance department, and he comes in and gets everything set up.
That's a great answer.
Does it teach?
He does a computer 101 class. He does. But maintenance will help you with TV mounts. If you were looking for something farther, our team will help you get your Amazon Alexa to integrate with our resident portal. So you can say, Alexa, what's for lunch in the bistro? She can tell you. But if you were looking for something really specific, like a huge sound system or something, we have some vendors that we've worked with in the past that might go above and beyond what River Landing would offer.
Yes, in the back.
Betsy, since we're all on a timeline and we will only get in for 2 or 3 or 4 years from now, how does that affect us in terms of real estate and how much time we have once you have an opening? Do we have to get rid of our houses?
It's a great question, and many of you know that we have a process called the Ready List. If you are not familiar with the Ready List, talk to Martha or me. We will walk you through how that process works. Some of you in this room are on this said Ready List. What that means is that those people that are on the Ready List are queued up for the next 2-bedroom apartment, 3-bedroom house, 3-bedroom villa. And what that process does is it gives you a number of months. It could be 3 months, it could be 6 months. I've seen people on the Ready List for a year waiting for their home to come available. But it gives you that time to know, I'm next. And mentally, at that Ready List time, it's when you start thinking, I really need to be calling every person on the stage, and how to start that downsizing in earnest. It also helps so that I don't call you on Wednesday afternoon and say, Sam, are you ready to move? And you haven't even cleaned out the drawer yet, you know? So it gives you some time to really get your head wrapped around that. So how the Ready List process works is Martha and I will invite you when we've gotten to your name to get there. And so I know that there's some people in this room that have gotten an offer and turned us down before. You can turn us down for Ready List offers as many times as you like, and we'll loop back around to you. I always tell people though, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. So sometimes it can take us a long time to get back around with availability. So if you think you are ready, get on that Ready List when the offer comes, and then you can lean on all of these fabulous experts on the stage. But if you have more questions about that Ready List process, let me know. Now, once you are on the Ready List and you are offered your home, you have up to 4 months to make a move. Not everybody wants to do it, take that long. You know, we waited a long time, we're anxious, we're ready to get here. We actually have a move coming up that is making a move in less than a month. But at that moment, and in this real estate market, that is when we say, start thinking about when am I going to put my house on the market. You have that full 4 months to take if you need it. If the market were to switch, if it were to change, if it slows, then we even have an addendum that our residents can additional 6 months to pay that 90% balance of your entrance fee. Now, there are some rules about that. You have to have your home listed with a licensed real estate agent. And we can talk through the nuances of that. It's rarely needed. But we're in a great market right now. But if it were to switch, we offer that as well.
Yes.
This question is mostly for Betsy. Betsy, once you have made an offer to us of an apartment and renovations need to be done, what renovations are covered by river landing and what renovations would we use to pay the cost of?
Great question. So Cole actually touched on this slightly. So what our standard renovations that are included are, we are going to replace the carpet if there is carpet in the home. You have multiple selections that you can choose from. We are going to paint to your liking and do any kind of refurbishments. If there's a scuff on the wall, we're going to fix that. If the lighting needs to be updated to LED, we'll do that as well. Outside of that, it is typically an upgrade. And so that includes tiling a shower, putting down hardwoods, doing built-ins, doing closet design. But the flip side of that coin is that once that happens to the home, that is how the home exists. So you may be offered a home that already has all of these upgrades done to it, and that's just included. Cole mentioned too that for the lucky residents that have been offered a home that needs I call it a full flip, but a full refurbishment. This happens when a resident may have been here since we opened. They get to choose all of the granite, all of the tile, all of the cabinet colors. They get more options. And that's included with your move-in when it's a full refurbishment. Otherwise, you can change the granite color, you can change the backsplash color. It's just considered an upgrade fee if the granite is already in the home. But we have a sheet, actually, Michaela just made a fabulous guide of what's included, what's not included, what those costs are on average. And so if you ever want to talk through that, we can do that one-on-one. And that's the next question.
I sort of have nightmares. I've got a large garage and it has all kinds of oils, insect killers, all kinds of stuff that can't just pour down the drain. I mean, you gotta take it somewhere. And you have a suggestion for that?
Are you in Guilford County?
I'm sorry?
Are you in Guilford County?
No, we're in Montgomery County.
Okay, a lot of the individual counties have a hazardous waste program, and you can get everything boxed up and just take it to your hazardous waste. You might want to check with your county to see if they have that type of service.
Thank you.
Who has the next question? Yes. Is it advisable to bring our cars? I mean, how much driving do we actually do? In other words, do I want to pay insurance again?
That's a great question. Some of our residents choose not to move in with a car. Some of them in the houses have brought 3. So you've got a couple of different options here, but I find that because our community, in this main building, you've got 4 different restaurants, you've got a gym, you've got this room, that it's all here. They even provide transportation up to the clubhouse if you'd like to go to dinner. We go to the grocery store, we go to the Tanger Center, we go all over the place. So you don't need a car to live here. We will take care of it. I think many of you know that medical appointments are also included. There's no fee, and you just schedule it at the front desk, and then a car will take you to your doctor's appointment. So the choice is yours, but you can definitely be here without a car. I think we have time for one more question. Yes.
If we're not planning on moving immediately, like say it's gonna be year 2, and we've started going through our stuff now, and after today, I have a better idea of what that stuff is. How do there's a fine line between staying in your house, using your furniture versus trying to sell it or take it somewhere, do something with it. How do people navigate that fine line? Because I mean, if you're gonna be living there for a while, I know the standard items, like you're gonna bring your bed, a few things like that you already know, but other things, how do people deal with that? Do they start gradually moving, like you have an extra breakfast table or something? Maybe they can move that out without it being a problem. How do people deal with that?
I think it gets back to the initial consultation and putting together a floor plan. With it being a couple years away, I'm sure you've thought about you're going into a 2-bedroom. So when you go down that list, we need a bed, we need a nightstand, we need a dresser, drawer, a chest of drawers. We need a sofa, all of those things. Just make that mental list. And then you look at your house and you're saying, how much do I love what I have? Or use, and start getting rid of some of the excess things. If you're on a list for a 1-bedroom and you've got 2 guest rooms, have them cleaned out unless you need them, for family or whatever. But it's just preparing in advance.
Don't forget about storage.
So I would, I think that going towards closets and cleaning out those spaces so they look roomy and that you have ample storage, those are all the selling features, but staged homes sell faster. So if you have an empty bedroom, I always bring a tape measure, but the number one question I get is, what size bed is gonna fit in here? And so when you have a visual representation of the bed in a bedroom, it's answered for you. So I would say, from a real estate perspective and marketing, it's easier to get rid of bulk items like furniture than it is to clean out a giant closet full of linens. That's gonna be more timely as addressing that closet linens than it is having the bed moved out. And it will benefit you to have the room shown as furnished for a buyer.
And if you've already got rid of all of your furniture, I can virtually stage the room so that it has all new brand new fresh furniture in it, and they see it online. When they get there, it's empty, but I usually have a picture of what it looked like online to remind them of which way the sofa went, et cetera.
Well, I would also add, because I agree with Vicki that you need a floor plan for where you're going before you start letting go of tons of furniture. But I also think that you gotta live in your house for the next 2 years, and you need to be comfortable. You don't want to feel like you're camping out in your own home. And I find that if clients can just deal with the closets and the drawers and the excess stuff in the kitchen and the 16 casserole dishes that you only use 2 of now, or whatever that is, if you start working on that in the attic and the garage and all of those spaces, that'll keep you busy for a couple of years. And that is stuff that's hard. So I think doing the small stuff, because it's easy to get the furniture out, it's closer to the time. And sometimes for some of our clients, we just come in right after you get you moved and then deal with the leftovers and handle all of that. So, but I'm getting rid of the small stuff and downsizing that to at least down to what you actually use now. And then you may have to take a pass once you know you've got that phone call, well, I'm moving in 4 months, then well, now I need to downsize this kitchen more. But because there's definitely things, particularly in kitchens, that you need now, but you're not gonna need to live here.
And I think they would agree that your furniture fits differently here. And then when my mother moved, she has a beautiful antique chessboard in her living room that she has clothing. You don't think of that, you think of it all in your bedroom. Or she has a table that was in her living room that's now her breakfast room table. So maybe things that you think of, this is my breakfast room table, but you actually might use another table in your home somewhere. And that's where these guys are so great with the floor plans, the furniture placement.
Absolutely, absolutely. It looks like we've got one last question. We will ask you time for it.
Does Landing provide any additional storage space for things like some Christmas stuff that you don't want in your apartment year-round? And how big is it?
Bart has storage.
Bart does have storage.
Yeah.
No, we do have storage here on site. It varies depending, I've got to scoot over. Thank you, Michaela. It varies depending on what type of accommodation you are in. Here in this main building, we have storage areas that range, they're about 4 by 4 by 5. Plenty of room for holiday items, for luggage, things like that. In the hybrid apartments, they're a bit larger, they're 8 feet tall, I think 6 by 6, 5 by 6. And then in the homes, of course, you have attic storage space, garage storage space as well. So it just depends on where you're moving. But there is extra space that will keep those items out of your primary bedroom closet.
And you bring them up for you.
We do bring them up. Our maintenance team will, you can call them and say, I need my Easter wreath. And up it comes. Well, that is all the time we have today for questions. I want to make sure that each of you have an opportunity to meet one-on-one with our experts today as well. So they will be at their tables following this if you want to have a direct conversation with them. Okay, I'm not. And they also have some information, you can see some samples of those floor plans that they're talking about. So there's a lot of interesting stuff over here. We also have a ton of food left. Our dining team put together I tried one of the bao buns with pork belly. It's excellent, so try it, please, take a little plate to go. I want to say a huge thank you. I want to say thank you to Trisha and Dawn for being here for our check-in volunteers, running microphones all over the place. If you've been around Riverlanding for the past couple of years, you realize that Trisha and Dawn are star marketing volunteers. So we thank you for all that you do for us. And then another huge thank you to the team, Michaela, Martha, you guys are fabulous for putting together some wonderful. Please continue to enjoy the shuttle. We'll be taking you back to the Johnson Street lot. And we'll start, for those of you that are hitting the road now, we'll take you up the elevator and Wayne will take you back to your cars. So thank you again. We look forward to seeing you on April 10th at the Tour of Hybrids. Thanks.
Luck on your
It's not quite all.
Eventually.